Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's episode of Souls Outside. Today, we're going to get started talking a little bit about our emotions and how we can move some of that energetic fuel through our bodies. Before we welcome on Chelsea Keene, who is a super cool human who teaches Nia dance. So, we're going to hear from her and then get some of her tips and, well, learn a little bit about Nia dance. Stay tuned. Welcome to Souls Outside, where we're all about finding the trail to stay true to your path. We do this by inviting featured guests on every show to share with you how you can follow in their soul prints, so you can choose which trail maps you need to continue on your journey. My name is Shannon Pohl, and I'm loving having navigated my own pivot from engineering to now being a master results coach and hypnotherapist, plus a forest guide who loves getting outside so we can learn from the nature, foster stewardship, and really amplify our successes by being outside and in nature. I'm so excited to have you join today's episode. Welcome to Souls Outside. All right, hello everyone. So today I'm almost always super excited about the show. It's just so much fun. And today we're bringing Chelsea Keene on, who is a Nia dance instructor, amongst a couple other cool things. And I won't give away anything about Nia dance. I'll let her explain it a little bit. However, because we were talking about physics, well, it has something to do with physics, fitness, and getting our bodies moving, I thought it would be good to chat a little bit about emotions. Because, well, one thing that I find when I talk to a lot of people is that, or are in hearing experiences in the workplace, there's always that time when like you really wanted to cry but you held it back, or even that you were super excited and you just kind of felt like you had to hold it in for some reason. So I just wanted to open up this conversation a bit. That first of all, for emotions, all healthy humans, feel all of our emotions. So I know things like sadness and anger and frustration get a bad rap. We've judged them as bad emotions, which is totally fair. Often those are the ones that have us like turn inwards on ourselves and kind of stall any of our forward motion. However, I will say there's been times when I've been so excited that I'm literally bouncing all over the place, and that in a different way also stalls my forward motion because there's so much energy moving through my body. Because that's what emotion is. It's just energy in motion. So it's things flooding our system, it's energy pouring through us, and it's how we perceive the experiences around us, whatever's happening, how we judge them as bad, and I will say like a depressive emotion, not depression, just a depressive, like slowing us down quite obviously, or more of an excited, positive emotion, like it's just going and bubbly. And for me, there's definitely some times I literally have to like bounce it out, or dance it out, which is part of what today is about, learning from Chelsea later. So here to recap so far, we've got healthy humans feel all of our emotions. So if we were to only ever feel happy emotions, that's actually a type of psychosis, and we'd want to talk to someone in more of the traditional psych field about some of those things, and just take a little dive in on those, and explore some things, because we should be able to feel the highs and the lows. And with that, the more you can feel the highs does also mean the more you're going to feel those lows. However, the more that you can actually just dive in and embrace that low in the moment, the faster you can get up to the top again and really happy, which I know has been, I mean, I've done a lot of emotional work myself in the last few years. I very much came up in a, not historically, like British heritage is in my family. Um, Canadians are well known across the globe for outbridding the Brits with our stiff upper lip, keeping things contained and in. And then I went into a predominantly male field in engineering where there's definitely, it's changing, it's evolving, it's amazing. And there's still that thing where as a woman, I better keep my emotions intact or else I might be seen as that, weak female or something. If you're crying just because your emotions are going. which I know on the other side, men experience that too. Like men don't cry is something that's still out there in our society. So let's feel all of our emotions. We're all happy, healthy humans, feeling all our emotions. And for me, it was really freeing when I really learned and embraced, and we have by no means the time to super dive into all the details and the physics actually behind it today, but it's energy in motion. And so that's where things like dance or going for a walk or just physically moving our bodies in any way is a really great way to use that fuel to get it moving and flowing again. So in so dance is a great one. I know I default to that one usually when I'm excited because I'm like, oh, I want to dance it out. And that's really great. However, even if we're in one of those, if we're in one of, sad or angry is a really great one to get moving in. But if we're sad or kind of in one of those depressive things or apathetic or just like, ugh, nothing's going on, if we can get ourselves to start moving, going for a walk, doing dance, martial arts, a sport, anything where we have to move our body that gets that energy moving and cycling through our body. We're taking that potential energy and changing it into kinetic energy, quite literally, and getting it moving. So that's something I know, I think it was 2 or 3 years ago, very early on in dabbling in business, and I was getting nothing done. Like I was just so like, oh my goodness, what is the point? I got nothing. And I was supposed to be going on a canoe trip with my father, and I remember talking to my then accountability partner in a business group I was in, and I was like, oh, like I don't think I can go. Like there's just so much I'm supposed to be doing, and like I'm getting nothing done. And she's like, well, if you don't go, are you going to get that stuff done? I was like, oh, I probably not. Like, I don't know. I'm just in such a funk. And she's like, then go do something differently. Physically move your body in a different way. Change up what you're physically doing. And I was like, all right, I'll do it. And there's a lot of other things going on there because I got outside, which is huge for me. But I got out there. I moved my arms paddling a canoe, walked a lot, portaging things, physically moving, doing something different in my routine. And when I came back, well, I did more things. There was that energy there. Everything was in motion. And so that's something that I just wanted to highlight today is that when we're in a funk, do something to move. I'll say this is why we start all of our forest bathing experiences walking, because you got to get things moving, and then either to get them moving or to let them get out of our system. So that's where, like, if we're really have a hot emotion like anger or rage or like really intense frustration, moving our body helps dissipate some of that energy, getting it out of our systems. So just like any energetic system, do we have to get moving, pick it up, or do we have to dissipate because we're overloaded? Yeah, so that's some of the things like that. Definitely remembering, being overloaded with anger energy and being overloaded with excitement energy is the exact same in our physical bodies. Again, it's just how we judge them. So the next time you're bouncy because of any emotion, just think, do I need to dispel this, or do I need to kickstart it and get it moving? Dive into that. So one of those options that I know Chelsea will talk to us about in probably about 10 minutes is Nia Dance, which I think is a really cool way of blending a few different modalities together to create something new and awesome. So stick around. All right, welcome back, everybody. So today we have with us Chelsea Keene, who is a Nia Dance fitness teacher and a health wellness podcast host and creator, which I will say she was instrumental in helping this podcast come to be. So extra excited that she's joining us today to share some of her wisdom with us. So welcome, Chelsea.
Thank you so much for having me. It's great to be here.
And so, as we like to always get started, we like to ask our guests some of the pivots that they've had in life. And one of your first ones was starting with your personal development journey. You can share some of that with us.
Yeah, happy to. I mean, I love how we just dive right in, right
Yeah,
into the real
you can
stuff.
background if you want.
Yeah, so in terms of pivoting in life, I would say yeah, stepping into personal development was definitely a huge thing for me. So for me, my first course in personal development was the Landmark Forum, which is a 3-day personal growth and development program. And what it really did for me is it catapulted me into a world of possibility. And it was kind of the first time that I saw that I could really create my own life. And it was it still is an ongoing journey of personal development and developing confidence and all of that. But learning those tools and distinctions is really what gave me the ability to stand for what I do now, and kind of create a different sort of life. So yeah, I would say
Very
that was a
cool.
big thing. And it also, gave me the confidence to go travel to Tokyo and do all sorts of trainings. And then that's how I got into Nia, and it just kind of like opened up this whole world. So
Awesome.
yeah.
So really was kind of that first thing that, well, just like you said, opened up all these possibilities for what you do now,
Mhm.
which I know the main thing is that you teach Nia dance. Maybe you can share a little bit about us, a little bit with us about what that is. Sounds so interesting.
Absolutely. Yeah, so Nia is a fusion fitness practice, and it borrows movements and sensibilities from dance arts, martial arts, and healing arts. So it's really Whoop, my microphone. So it really combines quite a lot of disciplines, and it's a barefoot movement practice.
Hmm.
So how it looks is, we're barefoot in our flowy clothes in a fitness context. And we step in and we dance to the music, and there's a designed choreography, and
Mhm.
people are also invited to take the movements at their own pace and level. There's level 1, level 2, level 3. Yeah, and it's just really fun, and it's designed to uplift the body, mind, and spirit. So the first principle of Nia is the joy of movement. And kind of one of the most important takeaways from Nia is that it kind of recontextualizes fitness in a way that we're to focus on pleasure rather than pain, and also
Ooh.
doing things from a space of loving the body rather than fear about what the body looks like to society and all of that junk. So yeah, it's just that totally recontextualizes everything in a really nice way.
Very cool. I know I'm looking forward to one day being able to participate in one of your classes. And I know we'll mention again later that everyone listening and watching is welcome to join a class complimentary with you to start off
Yes.
before I guess, committing to multiple sessions because it's going to be that amazing. Everyone's just going to want to be there all the time.
That's the hope.
Yeah. Awesome. And I love how it's focused on positivity. Um, and maybe could you share with us a little bit, because I mean you started with personal development, and like now you're doing this, but how did you actually bridge those gaps, like starting on your own journey and now actually owning a business?
Yeah. Well, it's interesting. I wouldn't say I own a business so
Okay.
much as I didn't create the Nia technique. Debbie
Fair
Rosas
enough.
did.
Yeah.
But it is entrepreneurial in that, I have to create the space for my
Mhm.
class and invite people and everything like that.
For sure.
But yeah, the podcast is entrepreneurial. I'm sorry, what was your question again?
How did you come here? And I totally hear you. We don't all create the modalities that we offer for people. However, we're
Yeah.
doing business, but yeah, creating the space and inviting the people in to join us and well, just holding that space for them. So just how you got from personal development and starting that journey to now doing this.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah. So actually so I did Landmark, and then that kind of like um the seed of adventure was definitely
Ooh.
planted in me. So I finished up my master's degree. This feels like a former life, but I finished up my master's degree at Ryerson, and I was doing film preservation and collections management. So very different from what I'm doing now. And and I've danced my whole life and everything like that. I've always been into fitness and health and wellness. But I moved to Tokyo after I did landmark, and I taught English for 7 months, and I traveled everywhere. And when I was in Tokyo, I took a week off, and I just went to a Nia teacher training in the Philippines.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah, I
just
just
cause. Okay.
yeah, just because my aunt had told me about Nia, and she said you would really love it. It's dance, it's, it's movement, it's health, it's wellness. You would love it. Just do it. So I was like, oh, I want to do something different. So I did. And then I just really, really liked it. What can I say? And yeah, and also Nia is also a lot about personal development as well.
Mm.
It's about, we use the term being a sacred athlete, and being a sacred athlete
Oh,
in life, and kind of, being a conscious person in the world, and you know
yeah.
not only treating our bodies well, but treating each other well, and treating the world kindly. So it encompasses a lot.
Yeah. That's beautiful. I love sacred athlete. That's such a cool blend of two, I will say usually opposing, not necessarily opposing, but very different. Uh, I don't know. When I think sacred and I think athlete, I think two different images. So combining them is a very, very cool integration.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
very cool.
Yeah,
Um,
because if you think of like being like something sacred, is devoted to like one person, one purpose, sorry.
mhm,
And then athlete is someone who's always like, trying to improve and do their best and play the game of life, right? So
mhm,
it's someone who's always trying to be their best in life.
right.
Yeah,
Very
is
cool.
one way of describing it. Some people have different takes on it, but yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. Very cool. And I mean, you mentioned how you lived in Tokyo, and I know when we were chatting earlier, um, you shared how one of the things you love about travel is being able to take landscape photos.
Mhm.
And I mean, hiking, taking pictures of landscapes. Just wondering if you could share with us a little bit about I mean that and like the connection that nature has with your life.
Yeah. Honestly, like, being in nature is, I know people say this all the time, but it's so true. It's just so healing. Like, to anywhere you are in the world, just going for a walk outside and being amongst trees, or if it's amongst the water, it's just so important. Like, there aren't really words that I can use to describe, but like, it's just really, really replenishing. And I know that even certain personality types are find it especially healing to be, yeah, outdoors. I think it is for everyone, but yeah, to just get away from the city, experience quietness. It's almost like, and even like if you're have like some sort of mountainous landscape scenery,
Mm.
it just kind of puts everything into perspective. It's just like, I remember I remember I was in Iceland, and I was like doing this 4-day hike, which was just like totally insane. I could get into that, but we were just like sitting on mountains eating chocolate bars, and we were just looking at these mountains, and we were just like, these mountains don't give a shit about anything.
No.
It does, none of it all really matters, right?
Yeah.
It's just all the meaning we created of everything, and all our stress is totally created as well. So yeah, it just brings me back to that
Very
centeredness.
cool. Yes, the mountains are going to be around far longer. They have far different concerns than we do.
Oh yeah.
Uh, and I love that you use the word replenishing. I just think that's a really good way to phrase it.
Totally.
Um, yeah. So as we are all replenishing ourselves by learning new things today, thank you for joining us. And we'll be back in a moment to hear your 3 life hacks, which, well, I think everyone can use some life hacks. So everyone else, stay tuned. All right, welcome back, everybody. So we still have Chelsea Keene with us, who is a Nia dance fitness teacher and a health wellness podcast host and creator. And today, for us following in her soul prints, she's going to share with us her 3 life hacks, which I'm fascinated to learn more about. So welcome back, Chelsea.
Yes. So my 3 life hacks are: number 1, get involved in personal development of any kind. Different programs speak to different people, different modalities speak to different people. Your thing could be meditation, your thing could be landmark, your thing could be, even reading a ton of books and starting a book club on personal development. But I think whatever it is, it's just got to be a conversation in community, connect you to community, and also get you committed to something bigger than yourself. I think I know at one point in my life, I was caught in a bit of a trap of depression, just because I really wasn't thinking about what I could contribute and what I could serve to other people. I was more just like licking my own wounds kind of thing. So yeah, and like I said before, before you create anything, you've got to heal some shit.
Right, yes.
Yeah. Yes. So that would be my number 1 thing, is get involved in personal development of some kind. That could even be therapy for some people, whatever it is, just a conversation for something else, and a conversation for possibility. Yeah. And then my second thing is to get involved in some type of exercise that brings you joy. And I think it's really, really important that we do something that brings us joy, instead of, if you hate running on the treadmill, don't do it. It's not going to work. It's not going to work long term, and some people love running on the treadmill, and that's great. But, just finding that thing that really brings you joy, and it brings you to a centered place where you feel good in your body and you feel proud of what you've done. And, you maybe meet some people minded along the way. But again, it's that recontextualizing everything to be coming from a place of fun, love, and joy, as opposed to, if I don't run on this treadmill for 20 minutes every night, I will be a bad human. Yeah.
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 I think so many people find themselves in that trap. I love that you're highlighting the joy.
The joy element.
Something that brings you joy. Enjoy this process. Yes.
And yes, joy is key. Joy is key. And even, I don't know if this is fully related, but I just remember someone telling me that even when you're eating something, what you're thinking about and how you're thinking about this food, like, even if you're eating dessert, but you're thinking about this, like, wow, this is like, I'm treating myself right now, I'm having a good time, like, this is fun, that will affect the way your body even processes the food.
Really?
Just the way that we contextualize everything impacts us. I don't know how scientifically true that is, but I choose to believe.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah, and then my third hack, let me just look at my own notes, because of course in the moment I am, so my third hack is to read the book The Artist's Way, which changed my life, because it's a program for unraveling your creativity. I'm sure lots of people already know about it, but it's a program for unblocking and unraveling your creativity, and really, really owning your creativity, as well as allowing yourself to be a beginner at something. And in the book, what really changed my life was doing morning pages. So stream of consciousness writing every morning, 3 pages a day. And really just seeing what's there, what comes out. And that's actually what had me create a podcast. Yeah, it's where I birthed the idea, and then some other things happened that really catapulted it. But yeah, just such a fantastic practice to connect with yourself and figure out kind of like what it is that to be listening to yourself, so you know what it is you actually want to create, right? And you're like blocking out the noise, it's just you. And then another practice in the artist way is that every week you're supposed to do an artist date, which is setting aside time for yourself every week to do something, either like some sort of self-care practice or some sort of little adventure, like something that's just for you. And just doing that, just taking those little chunks of time like once a week to do something for yourself is replenishing, and just has led to so many funny, weird opportunities, and really just kind of like makes life sparkle a little bit more. Yeah, super, just so much fun with that. And then I would also say that if you don't have space in your life to journal, or if you don't have space in your life to set aside an hour to do something just for yourself once a week, then maybe there's something to look at there in terms of like priorities and what matters to you, right?
Very cool. I love those hacks. And you're right. Like, if we can't find at least an hour a week for ourselves, we need to be looking at some other things that are going on, because we are with ourselves all day, every day. We need to give ourselves our time to be us.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I'm now very curious to know about some of the weird adventures you've gotten up to with taking time for yourself.
I'm super happy to share that.
That might be round 2, or maybe by people checking out your podcast, they'll hear some of those stories. Because I feel like it would fill multiple episodes with all of those adventures based on that. But yeah, thank you for sharing your life hacks. Kind of open up to yourself, explore those possibilities, bring joy into them, and and time for ourselves. Just so important. And I guess especially with finding something that brings you joy. Again, we talked a fair bit in the last section about Nia dance and what you teach. And maybe if you can just share with people a little bit about how they could connect with you to check that out and see if that's the modality that will bring them joy and movement.
Yes. So you can contact me on Instagram. I'm at Nia_teach_Toronto, and Nia is NIA. And you can also just shoot me an email at niawithchelsea@gmail.com. And Chelsea, I'll just spell out the whole thing. NIA with WITH, Chelsea CHELSEA@gmail.com. And shoot me an email, and I'm happy to compliment you a class. You can try it out and see if it's for you.
Perfect. Well, I hope everyone will join us on one of those classes currently online and back in studio when we can all do that again. Thank you, Chelsea, for joining us today, sharing your words of wisdom, and both yourself and everyone else. I hope you have wonderful rest of your days.
Have a good one, everyone.
Thank you for joining us today on Souls Outside, and we hope you enjoyed walking in our featured guest soul prints as much as we did. As always, we like to wrap up each episode with our extreme gratitude and appreciation for our founding sponsors, who quite literally made it possible for Souls Outside to become a reality. First off, special thanks goes to Etche Savas and her company Palindrome Design for the amazing cover art, and noting that their sponsorship comes in support of their passion project, Self Build Sustainable. We'd also like to thank Chuck Henry for his amazing music, original music, that is featured throughout the episode. And of course, Elise Cannon, our amazing editor, who quite literally made it possible for any of these episodes to see the light of day. They probably would still be on a hard drive on my computer without her expertise, skill, and passion for editing. So we thank them so much. And until next time, we hope you enjoy your journey and continue following in the soul prints of those who have gone before. Hey, one last thing before you go. If you wish you could talk about this episode with myself, our featured guest, or other like-minded individuals like yourself, join us on Facebook or LinkedIn in our Souls Outside Facebook and LinkedIn groups. On Facebook, we do watch parties. On both, we have awesome conversations about what we talked about and are able to answer your questions on how you can go even further on your soul print journey. See you there.